Hey, happy solstice. So, what I got told to talk about today wasn't what I thought I was going to talk about today, as per usual. What you do in darkness will be brought to the light, is what I got told to talk about. Which is to say, what you do in the comforts of your home, in your own private life, behind closed doors when nobody's watching, is what gets brought to the light. Also, conversely, what you do in the winter time is apparent in the summer. So it's pretty funny. We have a dichotomy between Capricorn and Cancer coming up with this full moon, which is an opposition. New moons are conjunctions. So we have opposing energies. The longest day of the year, solstice. We always wish that we had more time in the day, more hours in the day to get things done. But what we aren't always looking at is the things that we do to comfort ourselves. The crutches, the Cancerian things that we seek comfort, the self-soothing, the indulgences, the procrastination, the getting in your feelings. Being sensitive is not necessarily a bad thing. But we're having this tension with the Capricorn sense of, well, you want to claim independence from all of that. You want to act like you're, I'm. There's a lot of clinging. I might be the only one able to hear it, but I have a heated pink salt lamp kind of thing, and I keep my feet on it when I'm recording. So I stay grounded, but it's like clacking under my foot. Capricorn season is the darkest season of the year. We have solstice in that time of year where it's the hours in the day, the light. We have the shortest day of the year. These are the dichotomies, the habits we have in winter will lead to a summer body, as we are conditioned to think about. But this is in every aspect, like the way you self-nurture, the way you take care of yourself. You might be used to drinking a beer or a glass of wine or taking a Xanax or masturbating to feel better or eating something sugary to feel better or whatever. Smoking something, whether it's a cigarette or something else. I associate Cancerian energy with smoking big time. Just because every Cancer I've ever met had a huge habit of smoking at one point or another. And I feel like that is, indicative of we get conditioned to do certain things, even though to soothe ourselves, even if they're not what's best for us. I want to say last fall was really rough on me. Towards the tail end of the summer, I was taken advantage of. My good graces. Somebody borrowed money and never paid me back. And I think they delighted in the idea that they were torturing me with the emotional pain of trusting them. So I have done a lot of thinking about self-soothing since then. I went through phases of self-abandonment because I couldn't quantify what was going on, and that's what I was, I revisited some of my old habits, more or less. And it was really funny. Like, I started, going, spiraling a little bit, but I've been pulling myself out in a more beautiful way than I ever have. So I needed that second of looking over the precipice and realizing, like, to pull back in a different way. Like, I had to react in a new way. So as the planets, the world, the seasons were setting in to go darker, I was actually coming into my light in order to be who I am today, which I'm proud of. But back in the fall, I told my coworker, like, I got so upset that I drank about it. I don't remember what I drank, or I think it was just like a couple shots. But I didn't feel good the next day, and I told my coworker, and he said, "Don't abuse yourself like that." And nobody's ever put it to me like that. Like, those coping mechanisms are self-abuse, and I've been baking on that a lot. So, Cancerian energy. We are in I feel season. We are out of I think season. So what are we feeling, and what are we doing about it? We can expand more on Big Daddy energy, Saturn, Capricorn stuff when it's fall. I mean, not fall, but winter. You know what I'm saying? When it's due time. But let's talk about the Cancerian self-nurturing, mothering, softness, the tides. What are we doing with that? How are we blessing the water that goes in our body? How are we blessing the water that's already in our body? I just heard today it takes 7 minutes to attune water to a certain reaction or frequency, at least the water in our bodies. There's also the fact that water it holds memory, it holds vibration, it holds images and frequencies. These waters inside of ourselves, these full moons bring up these waters inside of ourselves, these waves of emotions. And what are waves of emotions other than signals from our senses, our instincts for survival or joy, or humans are much more complex than just eating and shitting and sleeping or working. We're more complex than that. We want art. We yearn for deeper connection with our surroundings and each other. So how do we go about that? Are we going about things in the dark at home that feed into these things that we desire, these nurturings, these true things about our soul that would coddle us and bring us into a state of nervous system regulation? Are we putting an effort to create that, or are we using our waters to poison ourselves? Are we doing things in the dark that when it is exposed to the light that we would be ashamed of, or are we going to be cool with what comes out? I feel. Feelings are important. Feelings matter. Feelings are what puts us on this earth as human beings instead of angels or animals. I mean, I know animals have intense emotions as well. They have probably a lot more emotional intelligence than we give them credit for. Or let's say, what makes us better than AI if we have no emotion? Complexities, emotion, passion. Feelings do matter. We have to pay attention to them in order to live a full experience, but we don't have to be ruled by them. We can use them as a tool, but we don't have to be overwhelmed by them. We can imprint our own frequency into the waters of our mind and body and spirit. What you do in the darkness will be brought into the light. Okay, this is plenty of yammering for the day. I love you guys. What day is it? It's Thursday. Oh yeah, it's Red Lipstick Day. I'm definitely stewing on all these things. I've been finding myself in a bit of solitude through Gemini season that I didn't expect. And I'm having a lot of yearning in my own way, but I'm really coping really well. I'm proud of myself. I've been so productive, and I have a bunch of filming to finish today. So when I finish that, it's going to feel really, really, really good. So I'm excited about that, but I do miss you if you see this. I'm looking forward to chit-chatting again one day. It was fun. I feel vulnerable for saying that. Alright, I love you guys. I'm out. Helps if I hit the button.